What's that smell?
It stinks in here.
Can you tell me what that smell is?
It smells like up dog in here.
Okay, that's a different direction. I was.
What direction were you wanted to go?
I was gonna go. It smells like David is joining me for another podcast episode. Am I right? Fucking got him.
What's up, dog?
Nothing much. How about you?
Not much.
Oh, okay, cool. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Last Week in Gaming. Today, joining me, as mentioned before, is my lovely, sexy friend, Cool David. As always, we're going to be covering general news topics and also game releases. But in today's episode, our special topic is we're going to... I'm not going to use the MindsEye joke again. But we're going to look at our
It's dead, dude. Sorry.
It's dead. Just leave it. I'm going to search my crystal ball, and that's not how the saying works. And we're going to throw out our guesses and predictions of maybe what this hellish landscape of the gaming will look like.
It's like World War One.
It's like that scene from It's like that dream or something from Terminator 2 where like Sarah Connor is like freaking out and she's like the playground is getting all burnt up and you're seeing this hellish landscape of the Terminators and all that shit.
The tactical nuke goes off and then she gets burnt. Oh my god.
Yeah. That shit freaked me out as a kid, by the way. But
yes, me too.
We're going to be talking about, you know what, really quickly, maybe this is where we'll start the podcast, but you know what freaked me out as a kid? So my dad would always show me the Star Wars movies as a kid, and it was like some of the only movies I would watch when I used to go visit him when I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or something. And the scene in The Empire Strikes Back, Luke versus like this projection of his Daddy Darth Vader on Dagobah, slices the helmet, and then you see like Luke's head in the helmet or something like that.
Yes.
I don't know why, but the way that his eye like was angled towards the camera and would look at me or look at the viewer, it freaked me the fuck out, dude. It just like I used to have to like close my eyes during that scene until I was probably like, I don't know, like 12 or something.
Dude, you know what? It is a good scene to be freaked out over. I think my one was it's funny because it's now my favorite movie. It's one of my favorite. It's the Back to the Future Part 1 when Michael J. Fox is playing at the dance and he slowly starts to disappear.
I don't think I've watched it.
You've never seen Back to the Future?
I mean, surely I would have, but I don't remember it.
It's when because like he's trying to play matchmaker with his parents and like. Because they haven't kissed yet. He's like slowly faded from existence. That freaked me out as a kid. I'm like, that's just weird. I guess that's one that comes to mind.
That is freaky. You know what? One more scene. Staying on brand with Star Wars. You know the Phantom Menace when Qui-Gon dies and then he's just like on fire at the end and everyone's just like watching him and he's dead and he's on fire. Every single time I look at his skin on his face and I'm just like...
Anakin?
No. I'm talking about Qui-Gon Jinn because he dies at the end of Phantom Menace.
He doesn't go on fire. He dies in Obi-Wan's arms.
Holy shit. Are you listening to me? He is like, it's like of his funeral. It's like a pyre. Like all the Jedi are watching him and he's on fire, David. Anyway, whenever I watched it, I'd always watch it. And I'm like, his skin, the color tone and like the way it's glistening in the fire, it reminds me of grilled cheese. I just want to eat grilled cheese. I don't know why. I just get angry. I'm just like, what the fuck? I just want grilled cheese.
I want a grilled cheese sandwich now.
I could do a bit of cheddar.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So, as always, we're going to be going through the game releases from this week, as well as some gaming news. And I've searched my mind's eye and I've asked, we've both come up with 5 predictions for what this hellish gaming landscape is going to look like in about 5 years' time or by 2030. So maybe save this episode so that way you can come back to it in a couple of years' time.
Only to find out.
No, I was going to say only to find out that we were right all along. And we had our finger on the pulse. And then, I think that it's going to be very insightful. And then, as always, we're going to be talking about what we've been playing for this past week. But, David, you know what I haven't been doing since we got our podcast sorted out with Spotify and Apple Music? Not Apple Music. What? Jesus, we're not on Apple Music. We're on Apple Podcasts.
What haven't you been doing?
I haven't been plugging the show. I keep forgetting. So anyone who's actually listening to this on YouTube, I'll leave a link either in the description or a pinned comment. If you have Spotify, if you have Apple Podcasts, which I'm sure everyone listening has one or the other. If you would prefer to listen to this on those platforms, go right ahead.
Please, we need the traffic. I beg you.
I beg you. I need to feed my family with the 2 podcasting cents I make each month.
They're sick, you don't understand. They're malnourished.
This channel is malnourished. We don't get many views.
Please subscribe.
Okay, so here are some of the games that have come out this week. So it's actually been quite a busy week compared to the past few. But I've just kind of got the few main games / expansions listed here. So on the 14th, so yesterday, we're recording this on the 15th to break the illusion. So it's Blacksmith Ignite the Forge, which is a PC game.
Ooh,
it's kind of like a 2D dwarven smithing game, but to me, it looks a lot like Fallout Shelter meets Adventure Quest Combat. So you're kind of building out your mines underneath the surface, I guess. So yeah, it looks really cool aesthetic.
Okay.
A big release, I would say. For today, so the next couple of releases are for the 15th of July. So there's Eric's Home, The Stolen Dream. I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly.
I don't think you pronounced that correctly.
No, God, no. So that's for the PS5, Xbox, and PC. So it's kind of like an isometric top-down stealth game in what looks like a 1900s inspired city, like kind of like a Plague's Tale kind of aesthetic, or that I don't want to say Dishonored, but you know what I mean, like that kind of.
Yeah, I know what I mean.
Yeah. There's also going to be Neverwinter Nights 2 Enhanced Edition. So that is also for the Xbox, Switch, PC, and PS5. So it's like a remaster of Dungeons and Dragons, or it's a Dungeons and Dragons game that came out in 2006. But I'm pretty sure this is basically just like an upscale or a remaster of it. I mean, to be honest, from the looks of it, it still kind of has like its old early 2000s kind of graphics. But I mean, look, I think that there's a lot of D&D fans that are going to be pretty happy with this release.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. There's also Ready or Not. So I believe this is this is a SWAT-based tactical FPS. It kind of looks like Rainbow Six
Very popular
Siege
on PC.
to me. So I was going to say, it's been on the PC for a couple of years now, and it's finally made its way over to the consoles. So it's come out today on PS5 and Xbox. We've also
massive controversy about that game.
Oh, do enlighten me.
Oh, the controversy about that is that the developers had to censor a lot of the PC version for the console version.
Why?
I guess it was just to get on consoles or make it more just to pass ratings.
Do you mean like violence or?
It was like small things, like a little bit like less violence, a little bit like less like in your face with like people who are using drugs, I guess. But yeah, massive controversy about that. But
they're not wearing pants. None of them are wearing pants or underwear. So you're seeing their bits just jiggle about.
Yeah,
it's rude, Ready or Not.
It's X-rated, Ready or
Not. So next up, we've got Donkey Kong Bonanza.
That does look good.
It does look really good. So this is going to be another Switch 2 exclusive. So joining Mario Kart World. Mario Party? Or is it Mario Kart World? Okay.
Mario Kart World.
I got to stop doubting myself. So that comes out in 2 days' time, so on the 17th. So look, we all know what Donkey Kong is by now, but it looks like it. When I was looking at it, it kind of gives me the same vibe. Did you ever play the Super Mario Galaxy games?
Yes, I did.
With how like varied and the different like dynamic like biomes and shit like that. Like that's what this kind of reminds me of. So this looks really cool.
And it's made by the same developers who made Super Mario Odyssey. So like the Donkey Kong version of Odyssey.
Yeah, obviously there was Mario Kart World or whatever, but I feel like now it's like, oh, okay, if you haven't taken a leap to buy a Switch 2, maybe now you have more incentive. So I think that's pretty cool. There is Shadow Labyrinth. So this will be on PS5, Switch 2, Xbox, and PC. So this comes out on the 18th. So this is like the last probably major game release for the week. I'm pretty sure there was like 20 releases for this week. And it's that 2D action platformer that we saw the trailer for in the Game Awards. and it's kind of like that alternative take on Pac-Man. So
Right.
you basically are like harnessing the Pac-Man abilities to wreak havoc on your foes while platforming.
Okay.
So I think that looks really interesting. It's kind of like one of those games where I look at it, I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I'm sure that it probably makes a lot more sense when you're playing it.
Yeah.
And as for expansions, so there's just two main ones. So we've got the Destiny 2 Edge of Fate expansion. I don't know how more people haven't given up on that.
There's another expansion for Destiny? Oh my god, Bungie, please.
No, well, I think I am going to misquote this, so don't take this as gospel, but I think it was like a skill up video. And I think it was like the interest in this, whether it was like pre-orders or whatever the fuck, is like 50% less than the previous expansion.
That's not good.
And apparently with this expansion as well, it doesn't look like there's like a lot of anything really new. It's more just like, oh, here, take it kind of thing. I don't know. It just feels like Bungie is kind of, I don't know if they're like pivoting or scrambling to try and figure out what the fuck they're going to be doing with the whole Destiny thing. But I really hope that like they work it out, because I think that the Destiny universe is incredible. And I just think that the gunplay is amazing, which we like talked about last week. But I just think there's so much to it. And it would just be a shame to see it kind of just like wither and die, which it feels like it kind of is.
Maybe they need to release a new Destiny, like a Destiny 3.
Yeah. Oh God. I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. I feel like they should never have released Destiny 2 and just keep it like Destiny 1 and just keep doing expansions, because like I felt ripped off when I thought it was like, oh, here's our 10-year plan. And then it's like 3 years into Destiny 1. It's like, oh, okay, by the way, Destiny 2.
By the way, Destiny 2.
Go fuck
without Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. Okay, and the last one is RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this expansion sees our RoboCop, half man, half machine, 100% cop. He's basically like I'm assuming fighting to reach the top of this like mega city tower, kind of like that 2012 movie Dread or whatever.
Yeah.
Which just looks fucking badass. So
that sounds pretty cool.
Apparently Rogue City is actually like a really great game, and like it
is
looks incredible too.
I actually bought it and I played a few hours of it. It's actually quite fun.
Yeah,
like, stupidly fun.
It looks really good. So that's pretty much it for the main releases. But David,
yes.
Oh, you know what? I need you to tell me something. I need you to keep me up to date with what's happening in the world of gaming. I'm chomping at the bit.
I'm frothing from the mouth. For this week has been a very steady streamline of news this week. Most recently, biggest news I found is that Sony had their State of Play completely dedicated to the new release of the sequel, Ghost of Yotei. I watched the gameplay trailer of it, and it looks phenomenal. You can really tell that Sucker Punch is putting a lot of love and care into this game.
Okay.
And to be honest, I'm very excited for it. I love playing Ghost of Tsushima. I think that was a really underrated, amazing game, and I think a lot of people are gonna love this new.
Is it underrated? Like, didn't it get like Game of the Year or some shit?
No, I don't. No, that Last of Us got Game of the Year. Last of Us Part 2 got Game of the Year.
Right.
But it honestly, it looks like Sucker Punch has pretty much got the foundation of the first game and have built upon it with new weapons, a new story, a new map to explore, new technology, and it just looks beautiful. I was watching it, and it just looks phenomenal, and I can't wait to play on my PS5.
Yeah, because you pre-ordered it, didn't you?
Yeah. I pre-ordered the special edition because I just love it. It looked cool, and I'm like, I want to display this stuff.
Man, I still haven't played the first one. I need to get around to that.
It's really good. A lot of people. One interesting take I did see in the comments when they were watching, the trailers is like people were like, "This looks exactly like the first game," and they were disappointed with that. And I'm just like, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
It's kind of like Elden Ring, man. Like a lot of people were like, "Oh, this looks just like Dark Souls or whatever," and like, "Oh, it doesn't look good for what it is." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
yeah, exactly.
Especially like when you're actually playing it, the fact that it just looks as good as it does and runs as good as it does for the most part is like pretty fucking incredible. So the fact, like, I don't know, I have seen the trailers for Ghost. Is it Yotei or Yotai?
Yotai,
same diff.
Same diff. But look, it looks phenomenal.
Looks good. Looks great.
Rest in peace, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Big ups to Ubisoft for releasing a game set in feudal Japan with, Sucker Punch's game on the horizon.
Okay, I completely forgot about that game. I forgot that it came out, and it sucks because for at least a decade, I feel like so many Assassin's Creed fans, including myself, have always wanted one in Japan, and then it just feels like this one just completely missed the mark. But anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. Look, let's move on. So Ghost Yotei is scheduled to be released in October. So if you have a PS5, get ready for it. In other news, we had some very major, I guess, FBI news in the gaming space.
Oh, okay.
Bit of FBI. So there's been announced that the FBI has seized a major Nintendo Switch piracy site. Essentially, where a lot of players were downloading the ISOs from that site. The FBI has now seized it. So unfortunately, if you were using that site to pirate your games for the Switch One, unfortunately, it has been taken down by the FBI. And man, Nintendo, they're on it. They are on it. You
games weren't so bloody expensive these days. Am I right? We wouldn't have to pirate games. Am I right? Bloody hell.
If you can't legally own your console, then piracy isn't stealing. Am I right, fellas? So major news. I obviously didn't think that the FBI was actually looking into this. It was actually quite a surprise. I can obviously see that they've been putting their time and energy into this more than trying to find the Epstein list.
You fucking beat me to it. I was like, the gears were turning in my head. I was like, all right, how do we direct this towards the Epstein files?
Stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein.
Apparently, they don't exist. But anyway, cool. All right, well,
they're on that website. They're on that website.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Next, we have some rumors, alleged rumors that Bethesda is allegedly working on multiple Fallout games, including a Fallout 3 remaster. Now, these are teaser reports and just rumors, but with how Xbox did just release the Oblivion remake, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see maybe a new Vegas or Fallout 3 remaster.
I reckon if it's going to be either of them, I reckon it'd be Fallout 3.
I reckon it's going to be 3 in Unreal Engine 5 with a modern gaming hardware. I think it would slap so hard.
That'd be sick. I was watching, I feel like I say this every episode, but I guess it's just my way of consuming gaming news to a certain degree. But I was watching an episode of Inside Games, and with Bruce and Lawrence, and Bruce was speculating. He's like, if I were to have a guess, then I think that the remaster would drop probably around the same time as season 2 of Fallout, the Fallout TV show.
I reckon that would,
Which, I mean, it makes sense. Like, with the season 1 that came out, wasn't it like Fallout Shelter just went absolutely gangbusters for a little bit? Like, everyone's like, oh,
yeah, I think it was all the Fallout games that just saw a massive spike of, new fans who never heard of the series, and old returning fans who just, when they were watching the show, they got that itch again.
Yeah, but Microsoft was real fucking happy about that.
Oh yeah, they're like, we're so happy about it. We're gonna fire half our staff.
You beat me to it again. God damn it.
I'm quick, man. Cool David's quick. He's quick, he's witty.
Get out of my head.
It's all I have. Let me have it. But yeah, really excited for that. In other news, Activision has had to pull out a Call of Duty game from Game Pass due to massive amounts of hacks on the PC side of it.
Oh, really?
If you're not aware, Activision recently put Call of Duty World War II onto PC Pass or to Game Pass.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there has been an exploit in the game for many years where players had the computer's remote accessed in by just playing a normal multiplayer game.
Oh,
this was a massive security flaw in the design, especially since a lot of players who never played Call of Duty World War II and want to jump into it and it's all on Game Pass may have accidentally got their computer infected by just playing a simple multiplayer game of team deathmatch.
Correct. That sucks.
It's Activision. It doesn't surprise me. So in response to it, Activision has now pulled it out of the PC space. They say it only affects PC players. Wouldn't really trust, for console. I would really want to give that a go.
Maybe just to be safe, steer clear for a little bit.
Yeah, steer clear until it's fixed. Because from what I've been reading about, apparently the hackers don't even need to be playing the game at all.
Oh my god!
Apparently, it's infected the lobbies where they can just immediately just get a rootkit or some sort of virus or Trojan into your PC without you ever knowing.
Oh my god!
Which is crazy, insane to think about that they have found a way to do that in a first-person shooter.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. But I mean, at least I'm assuming they responded relatively quickly. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. I'm assuming they just pulled it straight away.
No, it's been up on Game Pass for a while now.
Oh my god, dude, that's so bad. Yeah, they're
So
like,
yeah,
oh, sorry, our QA team, they're no longer with us.
yeah. We killed them. So yeah, if you have been one of the unfortunate players that has played this game and is not sure they have been hacked, definitely run some Windows Defender, run an antivirus software. Obviously, if it's too late, too gone, maybe a fresh install of your PC, which sucks, unfortunately.
Hmm.
But better be safe than sorry, right?
Yeah. Jeez, man.
Cool. In other news, some very big news. Stardew Valley has now become the highest rated Steam game of all time 9 years after release. Previous game was Portal 2. That has now been dethroned by Stardew Valley. And if you haven't played it, what are you doing? It's an amazing game. It's fun. It deserves it, honestly, in my opinion. It's a fun game because hours. You never played it, have you?
No, I have. I just couldn't get into it.
Oh,
it's like
wow.
I couldn't get into like Terraria either. Like I don't know what it is. It's just that I try giving Stardew Valley like a couple of hours that I'm just like, oh, like what are we doing?
What is this for?
I could just be playing Minecraft.
Yeah. I could be Steve right now.
Yeah, I do want to give it another go though, because I mean, obviously it sounds like it's an amazing game, and
it is
deservedly so. And so just to clarify, do you mean that it's surpassed Portal 2? So is it like surpassing Portal 2 in number of reviews or votes or ratings?
Yes.
Or is it
yes?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's now like the highest rated game of Steam at the moment.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, which is amazing to think about.
Props to I think it was like one guy who made it, right?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
If it is, props to him, I guess.
Yeah, God, he would be
but some good news.
Rich.
He'd be rolling in it.
Yeah.
But it's good to see indie games get that love and care. Especially in a space where it's dominated by AAA studios. We have this one game that's been around for almost a decade, being the highest rated game. So take notes, AAA studios, take notes.
No, that's incredible. Cool. All right.
In other news, in our news, the ROG Ally and ROG Ally X. If you may remember, we discussed the topic a few weeks ago about how Xbox is partnering up with ROG to release its own version of a handheld. The prices have been leaked in the EU. Now, we love leaked prices. So at the moment, the normal basic model is sitting at €599 Euro, while the Xbox version of it, or the top dog, is sitting at €899 Euro. So we kind of got obviously some sort of.
Do we know what that converts to?
I can convert that right now.
Okay. Interesting. So basically, it's kind of like here's the two different potential price points for like the basic model and like the pro one or whatever it is.
Yeah, basically. It's been leaked. Who knows if it's true or not?
Yeah, of course.
But the basic edition is at for €599. It obviously is $1,065 Australian. And for the top tier model, you're looking around $1,598 Australian.
Okay, so I'm assuming that for the rest of the world, then that'll probably be somewhere between like $750 and maybe like $1,000 or $1,100 for like
around that.
I'm thinking in like USD. Okay, well. How much is the Switch 2 again? I haven't looked at the Switch 2 price.
So Switch 2 it depends on if you get the base model, it's $699 Australian. If you get it with the included Mario Kart World, it is $750.
Yeah, okay. So but I mean I'm not comparing the two because I think that obviously this is like in a whole other world. It's basically like a PC. Portable. Okay, well, do you think that would be a fair price point?
Honestly, I was thinking it was going to be around that price anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it being less than 1,000 Australian.
Yeah. And to be honest, if you think about it, you get the price of a high-end gaming machine portable, which is crazy because you can get a powerful laptop, probably a little bit. You spend a little bit more dosh around that price.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think it's going to do very well, in my opinion.
I just think with like the cost of everything these days, it probably feels more and more like a shock with how expensive consoles are. But even like back in the day with how much they used to be, I felt like they were always a little bit more on the expensive side or whatever. I don't know. I feel like I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft or Sony or whatever are probably looking to have less of to close the gap with the
Mm-hmm.
margin of what they're operating at as a loss for their
Mm-hmm.
hardware, just because the prices of everything are going up. But
Mm-hmm.
I still think that if it's between 800 to say 1,000 or
Mm-hmm.
1,100 like USD
Mm-hmm.
and however much
Mm-hmm.
it is Australian, if it's a portable
Mm-hmm.
device, it's basically a PC. You can access all
Mm-hmm.
of your games either on your Steam library, Game Pass,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's going to end up paying
Mm-hmm.
for itself. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree.
I don't think it's a
Um,
steal or anything. Like that's
yeah,
sure
it's
a
it's
fucking
it's
lot
not a
of
steal.
money, but
It's still a lot of money. But if you're
uh,
looking to get something portable and you don't want a Switch or you don't want a Steam Deck, there you go.
yeah, I think it's about what I was expecting.
Yeah, about what
Yeah.
I expected.
Yeah.
And in final news, we ended on a good note. The 320-day SAG video game voice actor strike has now been officially is now officially over.
Oh wow, okay.
If many people don't know, SAG did obviously have a strike with they've very a number of numerous voice actors who wanted to be obviously demand for better pay, better benefits. Looks like it has now ended. So hopefully, they did get what they wanted and what came into obviously some sort of benefit for all voice actors, because voice acting is incredibly difficult, especially now where we're bleeding the line between voice acting, motion cap, and actual acting themselves.
Yeah. Has it been
So
announced what the agreed upon terms are, or is that not public information?
don't think it's public as of yet.
Yeah.
I think that they don't really like to publicize those, just
Right, okay.
because it's they want to keep it internal as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I just wasn't sure because I feel like from memory with the actor and writer strike, I
Yeah.
think that was made public. It was quite public a couple of years ago. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but yeah, could be misremembering.
But
yeah, that's
well done.
interesting.
It's really good news, and obviously I hope that they got all their benefits that they asked for.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Cool. All right. So with all of that being said, David, I think it's about time that, in Lord of the Rings, like Saruman is like still pretending to be a good guy who is clearly not a good guy.
Yeah,
He's, like,
well, we know that.
He's looking at his crystal ball, his Palantir, and I think we need to channel that energy and look into the future, about 5 years into the future, and share our predictions of what we think the gaming landscape could look like. Now, for the audience's awareness, we haven't like vetted these with each other, so there's a good chance that we're probably gonna cross over, like last week's episode. So it's like prediction Battlefront 3. But did you want to
prediction?
Did you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So, how we plan is that we go on like per global entity, like Xbox to Sony, or
I think mine are a little bit more general, like general statements. Okay,
mine's a bit more general. It could be a bit more tailored to what the companies are doing.
Sure.
I'll start off though with Xbox. What's Xbox going to look like in 5 years? Especially now that we're seeing a more of a transition away from the console space, more to this Game Pass subscription service and this online game, Xbox Online beta or streaming beta, where everything's an Xbox. My opinion is I still think that Xbox will release a console in the future, because it's been determined that they've already partnered with AMD to release the next gen of a version of an Xbox. Yeah. What that looks like, I think they're going to probably learn a lot from the generation and maybe just release one console, not two.
Oh, dude, there's no way they're going to release two again.
No, they're just going to keep one basic console, all right?
Yeah.
It could be the Xbox Series S2, 5, 360, 180, whatever it's going to be called. I think that's going to be a big part of it. It's still going to be released. It's going to be probably promoted to be very Game Passy, very connectivity, where you can connect your Steam, your EA, your Ubisoft, all those kind of games into your Game Pass, with the attachment of the gaming handheld, and more inclined with the Meta headset to obviously promote the Game Pass beta for the online gaming streaming service.
Oh wow! So you reckon they're going to throw all that stuff in with a bundle?
Yeah. Not in a bundle, but they're going to have options.
Try and promote.
Promote
cross-pollination.
Yeah. Here's your console if you still want your hardware and your console and your CD and your disc with the option of your Game Pass. If you're more into handheld, here's your handheld device that connects to everything.
Yeah.
If you want to obviously jump into the VR or more of the Xbox game beta, cloud beta. Here's your VR headset, and here's the Xbox app partnered with some specific TV brands, just so obviously you can stream it onto your TV as well.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think that's where Xbox is going, and also they're going to fire half their staff to do it.
I feel like that's kind of already the state that they're in, though. Like they're already kind of doing a lot of this type of stuff, obviously without the next gen console. But yeah, I do think that they're gonna release another console, and this isn't one of my points, but I guess it's just like a bit of a gripe that I have. I feel like there's a lot of people that say online that, like, you know, the next gen console is just going to be PC, like Xbox and Sony just need to like give up on consoles and just go to PC. But I feel like that is such a PC user's like perspective. Like
100%.
People who love PC gaming, like that's awesome, but that's just their perspective. Like I hate playing on the PC. I much prefer to just like sit my fat fucking ass on the couch and then like, you know, get my PS5 controller and just play. I don't want to set up like my fucking gaming rig or tower or whatever the fuck people call it, like next to my TV in the lounge room, and it's such an eyesore. Yeah, I just want to be able to just play on my console. And obviously I know that that's why there's a lot of, you know, there's a big push for the whole like Steam Deck, fucking the ROG Ally, blah, blah, blah. Like, but I don't think that the console creation is necessarily going to stop. The only time I think it's going to stop is when gaming moves to like, I don't know, like even away from PC and more into like a interactive thing. I don't think, I don't think VR is really going to replace any of that stuff. No. But anyway, I'm just talking shit at this point.
How else am I watching my VR porn?
All right, so you want my number one 8-ball prediction?
Hit me off it.
Right, so
Borderlands 5.
Borderlands 5, Randy Pitchford, he's going to try and make it push another show or
Claptrap edition. Borderlands 2 movie release.
Check it out. I'm dancing. I'm Claptrap. Give me a high five, human. Oh, you didn't give me a high five. Oh, no one showed up to my birthday party because I'm Claptrap.
Please stop. It's killing me.
Anyway, so I think day one Game Pass or PlayStation Plus exclusivity is the new console war.
Okay.
So I feel like the landscape has changed a lot over the past, say, 5, 6, 7 years. And I feel like we've moved away from the console war. Oh, which one's going to be better or whatever? Which one will I buy? Like, no one really gives as much of a fuck anymore, I think. It's just like, okay, well, you know, especially with, you know, game exclusives becoming a lot less exclusive. You know, like Halo is going to come across over to PS5 at some point. So, but I think where the console war element will be is that an Xbox exclusive can be played on PS5, but you can't get it on their equivalent of a streaming platform like Game Pass or whatever. It's like, it's going to be on Game Pass over here for Microsoft, but if you want to play it on PS5, you just need to buy it in full. So I think that is where the console war kind of thing is going to be. The subscription war, I should say. So that, I think, is going to be somewhat the future of... as these companies move away from like having these exclusives, this is the new way to try and incentivize people over to your platform over another person's platform. So I think that's the direction.
That's really interesting take. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we did see that. It honestly, it makes sense, to be honest. Because how are you going to create that competition? How are you going to entice people to go to your platform or your platform, stuff like that? So I think you're right. It'll be interesting to see how it pans out.
I think so too.
It'll be very interesting, especially in this new age of gaming.
Absolutely.
Streaming, so Game Pass.
What's your second 8-ball, David?
My second 8-ball. This is related to Sony. I think Sony will release obviously another console, of course. However, I think they are going to have a crack at handheld gaming too. Whether it be the PlayStation Portal or reviving the PSP, or more powerful to run your game consoles, because clearly Microsoft is going that direction, Nintendo's going that direction, Steam's in that direction. It makes sense that Sony would want a piece of that pie as well. I'm thinking we're going to see in the next generation a revitalized PSP or a device that's powerful, just like the new PlayStation, to run your games portably around the world, and not just connecting to your PlayStation via Wi-Fi, its own device itself. That's my prediction, and I think Sony wants to get into it because they already have. They got experience in it, and I think they can make a device that can compete with the big boys. Whether it be obviously combined with one of the ROG or whatever one's MSI, I think it'll be something like that.
I can definitely see the case for it, but I just for the sake of conversation, I think I'm going to disagree.
Oh, why?
I think that they already kind of had their half-assed attempt like a couple of years ago or whatever with that PS5 like split in half controller like on a screen like
the remote play,
whatever that thing was. And I know that isn't technically like a handheld, but it kind of is. And I know that they've got extensive experience, and Xbox hasn't done this before, so they're partnering with every company under the sun to be able to get this ROG Ally thing off the ground. But I just think that for me, Sony's strategy seems to be like, let's not fork out this crazy fucking money on, doing all this shit that Xbox is doing. We are just going to be steadily growing and making our money, but actually being more, showing more restraint. Like rather than throwing all of our games on day one PlayStation Plus, we're just going to hold on to it for now. And then, let that demand grow. So that way, if people want to play this shit early, they can just buy it outright. And then if they want to play it on the PlayStation Plus, then they just have to wait like 12 to 18 months or whatever. And then they're also doing that strategy with their most successful and popular games with releasing it on the PC, which I know would frustrate PC players, but it's like, oh, okay, we're finally getting a port like a year to a year and a half later or however long. And that just is a fucking massive cash injection for sales. So I think it makes sense for Microsoft to have that strategy because they are PC and they are Xbox, and they're wanting to blur that line. But to me, it doesn't make sense for Sony because they don't have that same infrastructure on PC. And like, I just don't think they would want to like spread themselves too thin by making more games for yet another console. Like I feel like they're kind of just opening themselves up to a similar situation to like the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. Like, I don't know. But they might do it. Who knows? I could be wrong.
The future's, no one knows what the future holds.
Exactly.
What about you? What does your magic 8-ball say? What do you see in your mind's eye?
Okay, so I think that the flagship games we're all familiar with, like, Call of Duty, any Bethesda or BioWare RPGs will become more increasingly scarcer and scarcer as the price of development increases over time. And that's if like AI doesn't replace a lot of the work that is costing a lot of money now, which this point, I guess, kind of contradicts some of my later points because I do actually kind of think that AI is going to replace a lot of jobs with any industry really, but especially the game industry. But I do think that this will mean the rise of mid-sized game studios. And I think that it will mid-sized game projects will be on the rise again to satiate consumers as it's a more cost-effective way of getting games out to the consumer more frequently. But I just think that it'll mean there'll be less major blockbuster events in gaming, which we've been used to. Like, let's just say like 10, 15 years ago, Call of Duty coming out every single year. And like all of these major titles, like, coming up to like November, holiday time, everyone would just get so fucking excited because it's like, holy shit, there's going to be like 5 brand new AAA games coming out. I don't know how I'm going to play it or which one am I going to buy. But I feel like we're going to have less and less of that and more and more like the Claire Obscure Expedition 33, where it's like, okay, here's this like $50 game from it's the pure definition of like a mid-tier size game studio kind of thing. So I think that that's probably going to be the future where the AAA releases are going to be scaled back, but the indie and the mid-size games will actually, it could go one of two ways. It's either the middle class, so to speak, of gaming is just going to evaporate and disappear, and there's going to be more indies and there's going to be more AAAs. Or I guess with this prediction or theory is that the rise of indie and mid-sized games will actually increase over time. I think it'll decrease for a bit first and then increase.
Okay.
So that way, companies can make more money in between these AAA games.
Okay.
What's your thoughts?
It's a really good take. I agree with some, I want to disagree with the points that you made. But
slap me with it. Slap me with it.
I feel like there's always gonna be those games that are gonna be coming out releases. But what you're saying is they're never gonna be released. They're just gonna be more scarce in between because of the cost of development and how new hardware is just gonna make it bigger, better, and more obviously take longer. And I think we are seeing that now, especially an example that I'm gonna bring up, and I think everyone's going to bring it up to is GTA 6. That game's been in development since the dawn of time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I really want to disagree with you, but I can't, because when you got like a game like GTA 6 on the horizon, where it's taken it's been in development since 2018, since Red Dead 2 came out.
Yeah.
I agree. I think I have to agree with you. I think we're going to see less. We're going to still see them come, but in between that, we're going to see a rise of these indie developers and these smaller teams rise up to
think about Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, that's God. It just works.
Think about say Call of Duty. I feel like it's not unreasonable to, I don't know if I'd say unreasonable, but I'd say it's probably more and more likely that the development cycle of a massive, fully polished, fully refined AAA blockbuster game is probably starting to look more like 5 or 7 years. And that's obviously why with Call of Duty from Activision, you'd have multiple studios making multiple Call of Duties all at once, so that way it comes out more regularly. But I mean, you and I had a discussion a couple of weeks ago where we were ranking all of the Call of Duty games, and it something came up in conversation that I completely forgot about it. But Modern Warfare 2 came out, and then Modern Warfare 3 came out immediately the next year. And then, we were saying how, so there's, Black Ops 6 and now Black Ops 7 is coming out immediately after. I'm wondering if it's more cost effective for them to put all of their bussy into the first year release, so the Black Ops 6 or the Modern Warfare 2, and then the other game is just what's scraped over, and it's just the half-ass all right, let's just continue what we did there. It's a savings of money. We don't have to reinvent the wheel for another entry from our studio. It means that we get more life out of this one concentrated production cycle. So that's kind of maybe a bit more of a pessimistic or a negative look at it. But I genuinely think that, it's either we're going to make really big games and it's going to take us years and years to release them, and they're going to be less common, or they're going to be just doing shitty practices like that. It's this is what the people want. They want more Call of Duty, but
they want that battle pass.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's just a theory. But okay, what is your number 3?
I think that we are going to see a massive return to Battlefield. It's going to come back bigger than better. Fingers crossed.
Was
hopefully.
it ever a thing?
After the recent release.
How dare you?
I think the new Battlefield is gonna really change the game with how first-person shooters are, and really is gonna affect how Call of Duty is gonna act, to the point where I think, and this is just a theory, that Call of Duty will turn into a free-to-play game just to compete up with the demand of other first-person shooters like Battlefield coming in and sweeping them off their feet.
So is this by 2030?
By 2030, I reckon Call of Duty will be a free-to-play game because of how Battlefield will come out and smash them. I reckon they've already got a pretty good foundation with Warzone because that's free-to-play.
Yeah,
makes sense that they would go free-to-play with the main entries and just make it like Call of Duty Mobile, just battle pass systems. Here's some cool stuff. Please buy it. Just so they can compete with Fortnite, Battlefield, and other competitive shooters. Thoughts? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I disagree.
Oh, okay. Why do you disagree?
Yeah, I disagree on 2 fronts, actually.
Okay.
I would say that Battlefield has never been a COD killer ever, and I don't. I almost think that the fan base for Battlefield and Call of Duty are kind of different. I feel like Battlefield kind of skews a little bit older, and they're people who, back in the day loved the whole Medal of Honor shit and like the more realistic, gritty, grounded, technical, that kind of aesthetic.
Yeah.
And feel. Because I mean, even though they're both first-person shooters, you kind of can feel the difference.
Yeah.
But I've never felt like the fan base for Battlefield has ever, like even at like the highest peak, maybe what was that, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, like it's never held a candle to the size and scale of the Call of Duty fan base. So
yeah,
while I definitely think that whatever the next Battlefield is going to be, or whatever Battlefield is going to come out by 2030, I have no doubts that it could be successful. But I think that even if a Battlefield game is successful, it is never going to take over Call of Duty. That's just my theory.
Okay.
I think that there is a place for both fans, and I know that there's going to be people who are fans of both. But I just don't think that Battlefield definitely doesn't have that kind of, I think the Battlefield 5, people were just like, what the fuck is this woke shit? And then there was like Battlefield 2042 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we all know how that turned out. So they're going to have to really do something special to, I think, get people converted. And I think there's already been like kind of rumors that, some of the development team or whatever are kind of just like, what the fuck is going on with this new Battlefield? Like, so I'm a bit skeptical about that, but obviously I hope it's successful. And the other thing that I kind of disagree with, so I think that if you're a Game Pass holder, you're already kind of experiencing like Call of Duty day one as it is. And I don't think that that is necessarily profitable. I don't know how much, like how many millions goes into making a Call of Duty game.
Phil Spencer's sweating.
Yeah, like I can't imagine it would. I don't think I could ever see a future with Call of Duty ever being free to play unless the monetization in those games are already so atrocious. And really predatory. Like there's just so much of it. I can't imagine them going free to play and them having to jack it up more. And they're not going to increase, they're not going to just make it free to play out of the goodness of their hearts. Like they would have to have more money, more revenue share. And I just don't see how they're really doing that when they're already either have it on Game Pass, which is like the closest thing to free as it is right now. Or they're making people pay for it up front. And they're getting all this money from like the Battle Pass microtransactions. So I just don't see that happening to be able to compete with Battlefield. I don't even think they're fucking scared of Battlefield, to be honest.
Oh, well, guess we'll see in 5 years.
Yeah, but that's just my opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong.
All right. What's your next prediction?
All right. Man, I gotta get better at like giving like shorter rebuttals. I feel like I fucking talk for ages. I'm sorry.
You do yap.
Okay, well, fucking so do you. All right.
Yeah. So I mean, out of both of us, Campbell yaps the most.
Oh yeah. Okay, I will say this. This is gonna be this is gonna be a test because I was talking to him the other day. And he's like, "Hey, you guys made fun of me like on the podcast." And he's like, "I actually listened to the podcast the whole way through, and you guys made fun of me."
Do you love how I did it like the 52nd minute of the podcast?
Yeah. I was like, what is it? I was like, yeah, I was saying something about how Campbell is shitty with David, but I threw myself under the bus and I said I was shitty too. So it was fine. And then he was like, oh, whatever. And then I listened back to it and then I went to go and say something else about Cam later on in the episode. I'm like, God, I'm a fucking dickhead. So this is the test. I don't think he's going to listen to it again.
Yeah.
But if he does, Campbell, I love you. I'm
Campbell,
sorry.
we love you. We love you. We have the highest respect for you, man. And just keep yapping.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So my third point is AI-driven content. So
yes, you mentioned this earlier.
Yeah. So NPC dialogue, quests, etc., will start becoming the norm. So obviously I think that AI is taboo at the moment, and also there's a lot of fear around it that it's going to be replacing jobs, and I think that just the reality is it is going to replace a lot of jobs in every sector everywhere. That doesn't necessarily, the optimist in me is hoping, I'm not pro AI, I'm just going to clarify, but I think that,
Rise of machines.
It could mean that, new jobs or importance on like a new work sector could pop up. That's a whole different conversation. But I guess my point with this is I'm not sure if it'll open up the doors for live service games or RPGs to receive a more extended post-launch support, given that it'll heavily reduce the cost of game development to have structured content. written and performed basically from generated AI. But I do think it will cut down on the work time and writing and animation overall. Because my theory is that, you know, the gaming industry was rife with crunch, and it has been for well and truly over a decade. And that's how games were basically getting pushed out so fucking quickly. But I feel like as the complexity and amount of detail for, game development is just only increasing, it's led to a lot of games being pushed out the door, unfinished and unpolished. And now that there's been a bit more of a social pushback, I think games are getting developed it's taking longer and longer, and crunch is getting a lot more frowned upon, which means that it's only going to be increasing the cost of developing games. So I think that this whole move to AI is just going to make things a lot easier to implement or integrate into gaming for cheaper. And yeah, I think that, you know, AI written quests or dialogue or whatever, or, you know, having so many different like dialogue options are probably going to be a reality.
Yeah. Really interesting points, really good points. I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Okay.
I think, well, yes, you know, AI is an amazing tool and it's only going to get better each year. It keeps iterating. I think that once people find out that a certain game or product has been, or AI has been used, is going to get universally panned to the point where it might actually affect the product. And I don't, especially if we see it now, especially with AI art, AI stories, anything that has any inkling of AI gets, like you say, it's a massive taboo. It gets universally panned, and people don't like it. I don't think that, while yes, obviously crunch is awful and developers are taking a longer time, if something came out like a really well-rounded developer, let's say Rockstar, an example, and they did a AI generated mission, or this mission was created by AI, it would be universally panned and just abused, and gamers would not love it. Because the beautiful thing about video games is that people spend hours and hours and have this talent that develop these beautiful worlds and stories and characters. I don't think AI could be capable of that. And if it got to the point where you couldn't tell, I still think people would reject the idea and wouldn't play it and wouldn't pay for it, especially.
I mean, I do agree with that. Like, I don't think that people are going to be 100% on board with AI, and I certainly hope that people are going to be continuing to push back. But I don't know. I just think that, I also think that there could be a potential tipping point, but that is also part of like 0.5 of mine. So, so I'll save that until a little bit later. I'm just being conscious of time. So what is your third point?
Isn't it fourth?
Is it fourth?
Is it fourth?
I think it is. It's the fourth.
I think it is.
don't mind me.
Yeah, I was like, God damn. I think, and we're going to see this. This is going to be a well-renowned practice that's going to be implemented with how much games are being spent in development, which is in the billions. I think that the $69, $70 price tag, USD price tag, will no longer be a thing. Well, I'll create it. It'll still be a thing, but I reckon the way developers will work around to try to recover the costs, especially publishers, is they're going to always release special editions, uber duper editions, where it entices players to pay a little bit more to play it early. So I think that video games will have always an option to pay for the deluxe editions to play the game a week early or a few days early.
Isn't that already happening though?
It is already happening. I've just noticed it more, and I think it's gonna be more of a common practice where they'll still have the $70 option for people who are happy to wait, but for developers to recover the cost of how long these games are going to be developed, they're going to always have that uber duper edition where you're not going to get a battle pass, you're not going to get like the season pass, you're going to pay a little bit extra to get an in-game cosmetic and to play 4 or 5 days early. That will be the new norm.
Yes. Okay. Interesting. I mean, I think that is already happening, and I think that maybe your point is that it's just going to happen more frequently, or it's going to be the norm. And
it's going to be the norm.
Sure. I mean, I agree. I think that if companies' incentive isn't to get onto Game Pass, which I think that maybe there is a bit of resistance in having your game on Game Pass day one, I can definitely see why people might want to make a couple of extra dollars just being like, hey, do you want to play this early?
Yeah.
And they might mask it as like, because I think that there would be a lot of social pushback if it's like, hey, give us an extra $10 and you can play this like fucking 2 weeks early. That would have a lot of pushback. But if it also comes with a cosmetic or something extra, then that's a bit of a different story. It's like they're actually getting something different or new. So that's fine. But I don't think it's necessarily a way to make a ridiculous amount of money. I think it's just a cheeky way to maybe make a tiny bit more, because the difference between people maybe paying an extra $5 or $10 to have it 2 weeks early versus like there were the people who were probably going to just buy the game anyway.
Yeah.
But they're probably the diehard fans. And if the diehard fans are going to be paying to access a game early, they're probably the people who are going to probably buy a microtransaction or a cosmetic anyway. So I think it is going to end up just being much of a muchness, but I definitely think that it is going to be an increased trend than it is right now. So I do agree.
I reckon it's going to become part of the norm.
Yeah. Okay.
And
interesting.
Is this your fourth one?
Yes. So I think game piracy will still be running rampant. Like, it will be running rampant by the time we reach 2030. I definitely think that there is an increase in piracy again. Just because of, like, with streaming services, with just how many services there are that you can pay for at the moment. People are just like, fuck that. Especially, like, you know, it's that meme at the moment. So, oh, well, you know, if me buying a game means I don't own it, then surely piracy isn't, like, illegal or whatever the fuck the saying is. I know I just butchered it. But I think that towards the late 2000s and early 2010s, piracy was like fucking insane. Like, it was just everywhere, and people were like freaking out. And the biggest like scare was like with DVD stores and shit like that at the time, where it's like, oh, what's going to happen, you know, with piracy? It's really affecting the movie industry. And there were ads for it and all that stuff. And then literally Netflix came along and just fucking squashed that fear. And
you wouldn't download a car.
People just stopped doing it. I mean, obviously people still did it, but it became less common because it's like, I could just pirate this one movie or two movies, but it's less of a hassle if I just pay like $7 a month and I just have access to like all this catalog. Like, it's kind of, it was a really clever way of fighting piracy. So my theory is that with the cost of everything going up, with Game Pass going up, with PlayStation Plus going up, like, by the time we hit 2030, I think if a different solution that we aren't even thinking of right now doesn't come along, I think that piracy will just be fucking massive again.
100% agree. I think piracy is always going to be a thing, and I think the points you raised are perfectly valid. Especially now in this concept, especially now with Nintendo's practices, where you don't own the console. Like, they can take it offline whenever they want if they detect that you're doing something slightly wrong. And I think you're 100% right that we are going to see maybe an increase, but with piracy, I reckon will still be around for the next 50 years, because while, you know, it's nice to, you know, to buy these games, but with the rise of, you know, Game Pass and these versions of their stream services, we're going to find people who are like, you know what, I'm just going to do a cheeky download and risk the Trojan I might get just to play this game. I think we're going to see it more for AAA games, not with indie games. I think people still, because indie games are so cheap, people are still willing to fork out that $10 and $15 to support the developer, to support the little guy. However, for these multi-billion-dollar companies, Ubisoft, EA, Sony, Microsoft, we are going to see piracy still be rampant around that time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, you want to give us your last one?
Right, last one. My opinion, or I think, in the next 5 years, one or two things will either happen. Ubisoft will go bankrupt. Fingers crossed. I know it sounds awful, but the way Ubisoft has been going, I reckon they will go bankrupt, or they will be bought out by either Microsoft or Sony. I think it will go to Microsoft because Microsoft likes to acquire developers and publishers like they acquires Infinity Stones. I think Microsoft...
I reckon it would go Sony.
You reckon it'll go Sony? Either or. It'll go to either Sony or Microsoft.
Yeah.
Because Ubisoft are on a trend right now where the games are not doing good. Let's be honest. Shadows didn't do really well.
To be fair, I think that their so-called pivot, or the new direction that they need to go after their announced like reshuffle or focus, like to scale back and consider what's happening, I think that was always going to be after Shadows.
Yeah, after Shadow. So I think it will be bought out by a major publisher, and we will see all their catalogs appear on that publisher, and hopefully we will see a revamped Ubisoft who are a bit more focused on, pushing the boundaries and not just copy and pasting and saying, hey, here's a new title. Hey, I know you liked Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I know you liked Odyssey. Here's Shadows with exactly the same.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm not sure. I can definitely see them going out of business. Yeah, absolutely. And then being absorbed by another company, but I just don't know what that company would be.
I don't know what it could be either.
Yeah. And I just think that just purely, I think that the amount of companies that Microsoft has absorbed, I just don't I don't actually see them being allowed to absorb too many more, because it would they would just
create a monopoly.
Become a monopoly. So
yeah, that's a valid point.
Because that's why this whole Activision Blizzard acquisition took so long. So
it did,
yeah. We'll see.
But I think that's going to happen. I think, as sad as it sounds, I think it's probably the one thing that Ubisoft needs if they're going to survive the next 5 years.
Yeah, sure, fair enough. Okay, so for my last one, so I'll just preface my point by saying that I don't think that this is necessarily how it's going to go, but I think that this is
World War III.
No. By 2030, we'll finally get the Epstein files. I think that these mega corporations like Sony, Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, whatever. I think that this is the angle that they're going for with this whole AI move, because it's a massive race to make the AGI or superintelligence or whatever the fuck. But I think that the public perception of these massive game companies in the short term, as of right now, it's dog shit because of all these layoffs and like all of this just like, we got to make difficult decisions for the long-term health and the benefit of the company and all that shit. And everyone hates it. It's crummy. It's shit and like so transparent. And no one likes it. However, with companies like Microsoft, they're recently investing $80 billion into the AI infrastructure of their business. It's just like, I think their bet, or what they're hoping for, is that they're going to try and get as much AI assistance, throughout their games, everything that they're developing. And I reckon what they'll end up doing is they're going to double down and replace a lot of the work crunch with AI that can work 24/7, and it's basically it's not crunch, but it basically is crunch, and which will mean more games all the time, which will boost sales, which will make consumers happy again. And I think that the headlines in 2030 won't be talking about how this awesome and constant wave of games is all thanks to the layoffs of 2024 and 2025. I think that they'll be focusing on how pro-human and how ethical is it that these companies are basically like there's crunch is non-existent anymore. They actually look after their employees that are still around.
No daughter of mine is going to date a clanker.
but the reality is, like, a lot of these jobs are going to be replaced and they're going to be gone, and it's going to be shit. But they're probably going to turn around and be like, but look, we just look after the people that are still here. So I think that by 2030, they're hoping that soon enough, people are shitty about AI, people are shitty about these layoffs. But if we're constantly getting brand new games crammed down our throats all the damn time, we're probably going to be over the moon that we have a constant steady flow of like all these new games. Like, imagine a brand new Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield, all these games every single year.
God, that'd be the dream, wouldn't it?
Because, but that's what I mean. That's what they're hoping for, is like, shut up, take our games.
AI,
don't look at how we're making it.
ChatGPT. ChatGPT, make me a Halo game.
So that's my theory.
Jarvis, publish the new Call of Duty.
Jarvis,
you know what?
Give me a new Halo and take off my trousers.
To be honest, I would really the optimism in me, the optimistic, I guess, would like to disagree with you, but I really, really think, we're probably going to see some sort of shift where jobs will be replaced.
I mean,
they're going to try and make it. We're pro-human. Look at this work-life balance.
Yeah,
and they're just going to market it really well that we're not going to notice it.
Yeah, it was like, hey, let's just get rid of all the jobs now. It sucks, but if we get rid of it now, it positions us better in like 5 years' time. Because ultimately,
Co-op.
when we do start ramping up all of these new games, like in the pipeline, we're just not going to replace the jobs. We're just going to replace it with AI.
Yeah.
So that's my theory. Bit of a downer point to end this little discussion. But, but yes, again,
I'm depressed now. Yeah, I'm worried about my job.
Okay. Well,
thanks for that.
Yeah,
but no, look. I honestly, I hope it doesn't go that route. I hope they find a way where they can
I hope
coexist
not too, but we'll see. All we can really, it's like with these fucking tech billionaires just racing to be the main AI daddy. It's just like it's kind of just out of our control.
Zucky,
but I think let's spend less time getting zucked and let's spend more time telling each other what we've been playing last week or this week or whatever.
Yes.
What have you been playing?
You're gonna be surprised, especially that we spoke about this a few weeks ago. But I've been playing Black Ops 6.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. I just had that itch. That itch you get where you're like, man, I wanna just dome some kids. With
It's crazy how you got an itch to play that and not Battlefield.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I there's no good Battlefield. I mean, there's a good Battlefield, but I want a new Battlefield. But yeah, we've just been playing multiplayer. Somehow, Beavis and Butthead are now in the game. It's so I've been just getting whacked by.
It's a simple pleasures in life.
It's a simple pleasure, but it's just, man, it just feels good just to get that SMG and you just run around the map and you're just getting multi kills and you just see the medals ping up and your kill streaks are going off and you're getting the fury kills and mercenaries.
That reward system, that constant feedback,
that dopamine. I'm like, yes, it's been good to revisit it. It's just been stupid, mindless fun. And,
that's sick.
And honestly, it was nice. And then after that dopamine hit, skill-based matchmaking then decided to turn on, and then I just hated it after that. Getting sweated on by the most sweatiest players ever. But when I got that lobby where just people didn't know how to play, man, it just felt good to be playing that kind of Call of Duty again.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been playing?
So that's it for you?
Yeah. It's literally I've been playing Black Ops 6.
Cool. Well, I feel like I'm probably going to be a little bit boring this week because I did finish Borderlands 2.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, crazy. So now I'm just kind of making my way through the DLC. I finished Captain Scarlet's Pirate Booty. And
booty.
For the most part, I didn't realize that. I don't know if this is the case for all the DLC, but it has like a raid boss at the end, and it's actually fucking hard. Like it says it's like level 32, and I'm like level 38 or whatever, and it fucking kicks my ass. So
I'm
just trying to like level up in a different DLC. So I've moved across to Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. And it's fucking insane. It's basically like a D&D game, but it's like her, Lilith, Brick, Mordecai, and they're all like playing on the table, so to speak, because you keep seeing them pop up, but you're actually in their game that they're changing all the rules for, and shit's just constantly changing in front of you. It's so cool. And there's some really self-referential or like really tongue-in-cheek kind of quests. Like I finished one actually earlier today. Yeah. And it was like Lost Souls, and it was like a riff on like Dark Souls, and you're basically just like trying to light bonfires all around the place, and like basically just take all these souls to like this skeleton guy, and then like you give it to him, and then he like turns back into like human or whatever, like he's not tarnished anymore. And then all of a sudden it's like your game gets invaded by like another player or something like that, so you're gonna like take them out.
I love when games do those little Easter eggs. I love that. I love
it's so good, cool. Dude. Borderlands
it's such a love letter
for that shit.
I think it's a love letter to the actual game series.
Yeah, it's so good. And then there was like another quest where it's like the quest is something called the MMORPG FPS or something like that, and it's just like I have to go to this area and kill this like giant skeleton. And there's like 3 NPCs standing outside that all have like their Xbox gamer tags like floating above their head or something like that. And then it's like your whole mission is to take credit for killing the raid boss. So it was kind of like riffing on like fucking World of Warcraft or whatever. And then it's like it dies, but you can't let them live to say that they're the ones who took credit. So you got to like one of them is called like, I don't know, 720 headshots or something like that.
Oh my God,
you got to like kill them with a
headshot.
One of them, and then one of them you had to melee kill, and then another one you had to teabag after you kill them.
Oh my God.
So like it's pretty cool, man. It's really, really creative, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I think there was another one where it's like you have to pick up a gun, but it's like every time you go to pick up the gun, it's like one of the, you know, overlord like NPCs or like Tina or whatever, they're like rolling a dice, so to speak. So the gun itself is rolling around, and then it's like every time you try and pick it up, because they roll poorly, you can't pick it up, so it goes somewhere else, and you got to chase after this gun to try and
classic
so
D&D there.
Really, really great, man. So I'm really just enjoying cleaning this up, and I'm hoping to move finally onto Borderlands 3, and then I'll finally be done with this whole. This is the 6th episode, and I think every episode so far I've said that I've been playing Borderlands. So it'd be good to have change of pace, man. It's driving me crazy.
I can't wait till we get to the 15th episode. You're like, yeah, I finished Borderlands 3, and now Borderlands 4 has come out, so that's my next game.
I've now restarted Borderlands 1, so there's so many characters to play from. But yeah, I've been really enjoying it, and I mean this week. Return to work, so I don't have as much time, and like I said to you, like off the air, I like did up my schedule for like, I don't know, I guess like all the editing and like all the heaps good stuff I'm doing at the moment. I'm like, fuck, I don't even have time to do like my own like movie videos because of just like I think all the projects that we've got like running concurrently at the moment. So I'm just trying to find that perfect balance, and to find that perfect balance, it means unfortunately that I'm playing a little bit less games, which kind of sucks.
Hey man, it's all for the grind.
Exactly.
We're gonna have that podcast.
I should just quit my job. I just gotta quit my job. I gotta play Borderlands for the pod.
Yeah. Should be like, I wake up at 6 a.m. and I stock trade for 3 hours. What do, you loser?
What do? I wake up with today, and then I also just play Borderlands.
I really like Karl Stefanovic, man.
Yeah. Okay, but that's pretty much it from me. And I'm assuming do you have any closing thoughts?
Just once again, thank you for obviously listening to our podcast. The 4 people that do.
We might have 4 people now. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Please, if you do have any predictions below about where you see gaming in the next 5 years, let us know. Yeah. Obviously, if we didn't bring up a topic that you want to obviously share with us, we'd love to hear your thoughts, of course.
Absolutely, and like I tried to shamelessly plug at the start,
in before.
If you're listening to this on YouTube and it's more convenient for you to listen
Apple Podcasts.
On a podcast platform, go listen to it on there. I'm really curious to see if I want to grow it obviously on the YouTube channel, but naturally as well I'm curious to see, which platform, whether it be Spotify or Apple Podcasts, like has the most listeners on it and such. And overall I think I'm personally Apple Podcasts, and I listen to podcasts on that shit every single day. So curious to see if we can grow our community and audience over there as well. So
we're coming for you, Joe Rogan. We're coming for you. Watch out.
You better watch your fucking mouth, Joe Rogan. We're coming for you. But yeah, anyway, thanks for talking to me again, Cool David. It's been really cool. And thanks for listening, all 4 of you. I hope you have a good week. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye.
See you guys. Take care. Bye.